RGB stands for red, green, and blue. It is used in CSS to define colors in the form of RGB values, which are numerical values that range from 0 to 255. This allows for a wide range of colors to be used in web design. The RGB color model is an additive color model in which red, green, and blue light are added together in various ways to reproduce a broad array of colors. RGB in CSS color black is the equivalent of the hex code number 000000, which stands for red, 0, green, 0, and blue, 0. This is the darkest possible color that can be displayed on a web page and is the result of combining all three of the primary colors, red, green, and blue, in equal amounts. The RGB value for red is 255, 0, 0. This is because the RGB, red, green, blue, model uses a range of 0 to 255 for each of the three colors, with 0 representing the absence of the color and 255 representing the maximum amount of that color. In the case of red, it corresponds to a maximum amount of red, 255, with no green, 0, or blue, 0. On the second line, is how to achieve the color green when used on RGB. Green is a primary color in the RGB color model, which stands for red, green, and blue. It is made up of a combination of red and blue light with a value of 0 red, 128 green, and 0 blue. This is to achieve this kind of color green. On the last example, this corresponds to a value of 0 for the red channel, 0 for the green channel, and 255 for the blue channel, resulting in a pure blue color. Now, let's start from copying the RGB color code in htmlcolorcodes.com, search for a random color, copy the file, then implement it in your CSS file. Paste inside your text editor. It's hardly to recall the exact value, so I recommend for copying the exact value in your color palette. Let's replace the color name into the RGB format. Let's copy more RGB color values, then replace some of the color names implemented on the previous example. Open the file, then change the colors according to your likings. Explore on the implementation of RGB colors, particularly on the use of forms or even effects of your CSS elements. In this example, we were able to change the colors inside each tags by insert RGB property. RGB or HEX values are better to implement since it would be easier to pinpoint the exact color you want to implement compared to a color names. There are at least 16 million ranges of colors, so it would be difficult to insert a color name compared to an RGB.